What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Battle Central Europe Season 3. This is going to be the last game of the day. We got Moscow 5 and Buhlo currently in the middle of a best of 2 with Moscow 5 holding a 1-game advantage after a long bloodbath of a game. We're going to be bringing you the last game here on HeflaTV Hitbox 1. I'm Mike Loris. I have HeflaMoke here with me as well, and man, that last game sure was something. I can only hope that this game is half as action-packed. Unless he's not here.
Oh, actually, I'm here just with the microphone muted, so, well, that wasn't so smart after all. No, but why do you hope it's less action-packed? Because I thought this was an amazing game.
No,
A really forth and back.
I said I hope it's at least half as action-packed as the
Oh,
last one.
okay. Never mind then. I thought you were like in Slack mode, like, oh, come on, give us a 20 minutes GG or something. I want to go home.
No, I mean, like, if they pick up a Naga Siren, that's the game that I don't really want to watch, you know?
Yeah, definitely. No, but I definitely like the game. The only difference you saw in the teams, I mean, besides the, I don't know, slightly advantage here and there and all the trades and whatnot, it was the decision making. Like, the decision making of Moscow 5 is due to their, I guess, superior experience over the years, a tiny bit better. While Buhlo, they went for aggressive style and aggressive decisions, but yeah, they flipped back. And when you just held your base with 3 buybacks and a follow-up buyback on a Legion commander, so you're down 4 people that can't do anything if they die, going for this aggressive play, it's very, very questionable. So I think by stretching the game for another 6 minutes or so and then being back with buybacks, that might have been even a chance to beat Moscow 5, because the game was even at that point kind of equal.
And I think one of the largest weaknesses for Buhlo was essentially they were working with -1 hero in that game. Their Nature's Prophet was almost completely irrelevant, and he's actually not in this game. It's going to be Afterlife standing in. So, yeah, Buhlo are going to be kicking out the weak link and trying to get a slightly stronger one.
Whoa, did they actually? Yeah, they replaced him. They were like, you feed too much.
Wait, isn't Afterlife an album sheet, though? Can they do this?
Of course they can. I mean, but wait.
Album sheet are in Group 1.
Yeah, so I mean, why not going for the stand-in? I mean, sure, but then again, like, why would he fight for another team to bring them further, you know?
I don't know. It just seems usually there are rules in place for, like, you can't play for more than one team kind of rules, and I don't know exactly how much in depth the Battle Central Europe rules are, but it just seems like that shouldn't be happening.
Well, for now, it is definitely happening, and unless the admins they're saying anything against it, so for now, it's just going that way. Which means Buhlo has a new player instead of what was the name like of him?
Stalianer, the
yeah.
face name guy.
Yeah, that was the guy where I love like the choice of symbols and everything. Either way, guys, we're hopping here into the draft, but short thing before, for all those who didn't know, on Facebook we have a giveaway about the tickets. I'm gonna announce right after the game another 4 winners for today. So every day we're gonna give out 4 tickets for the game till tomorrow. So tomorrow's the last day. The only little catch in this is, like, since Valve was waiting so long with that ticket, we can actually trade it at the 21st of November. I know it's pretty late, and I know it's then already at the start of the main event and everything, but I can't change it. Valve makes these restrictions on buying tickets, so for us it's kind of hard to make a giveaway action. Still, it's a nice ticket. It's $5 worth, coming with a Meepo ticket, and you should just go for it. You don't have to do much. Just go on our Facebook, like the Facebook, and write "Give Meepo set," and that's all about it. The winners, as I said, in an hour, 4 more winners will be out there. So if you want free stuff, go there. And now we're hopping into the game and see what we got.
And the link is right below the stream, so that's where the Facebook is. And it's on the screen as well, so if you can't find it, then you're probably not looking hard enough, since it's freaking everywhere on your screen
and
right
finding
now.
HeflaTV on every platform out there, from, I don't know, YouTube over Twitter to Facebook, is not really hard.
Literally everything, guys. But yeah, we have our draft. And Buhlo, well, they're going to first pick the Elder Titan, which is, I think, a little bit questionable. I think he's strong, but not that strong. But when you go with the Tidehunter, they are signifying that they want to go on perhaps a minor minus armor sub-theme of their draft, whereas Moscow 5, they second pick the Wind Ranger. That is very interesting.
Yep. I mean, the good thing about Windrunner is you never know what position she's playing. We see her in pretty much every position. But now that we saw Vigos on a Witch Dog, to be honest, I think this might be is just a Windrunner pick for the mid for Vigos. And in case Buhlo picks something that is sort of like outlaning them, they can still swap it around, because Windrunner is just fine in every situation. You can play her offline, you can play her mid-core, you can even play her farming, in a farming role in tri-lane. That's a nice thing about that hero. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I see the teams playing it, and some of them really like it. I don't know why, but that's just the fact as it is right now.
Man, I was just about to predict mid lane matchup Wind Ranger versus Templar Assassin, but Moscow 5, they know that Buhlo currently have a crap ton of minus armor, and they're going to take 2 more heroes out of the pool, both of which can reduce armor, and Razor Eye of the Storm, and of course that meld. Buhlo, they still can't pick up a Vengeful Spirit though, and that should be their course of action, as what minus armor loves is more minus armor, and it's still in the pool. It's going to be Faceless Void and Viper to be banned out from Buhlo, and yeah, with Moscow 5, as you said, Wind Ranger, we've seen her literally everywhere. You can probably assume that this is going to be a Vigos hero, though if for some reason that doesn't work out, then just give it to one of the supports, and Ogre Magi Fire Blast into a Shackle Shot is pretty nice setup.
And pretty interesting is also that we don't have the Jakiro picked at the moment. He did such a good job last game, and instead, well, they take a piece of Moscow 5 and they pick the Witch Dog. I don't think this is a Witch Dog mid. That would be just a bit, I don't know, teasing, I guess, like, hey, Vigos, I show you how it's really done. But no, this is going to be a support Witch Dog for their lane, and I actually thought we're going to see something like a Vengeful Spirit, because you already said it, minus armor loves more minus armor, and with the Elder Titan reducing the base armor and the Vengeful Spirit on top of it, that would have pretty much done a good job. Like, unless you really carry heavy armor items, you're reduced to 0, and from there on you're just waiting for any physical damage coming in that really blows you.
And Elder Titan can put some serious physical damage in, as can the Tidehunter with Anchor Smash, and now with the Witch Doctor. It's still a possibility if they want to run an Elder Titan core, which we've seen previously, but the chances of running an Elder Titan core with a Tidehunter already on your team is extremely unlikely for Buhlo. So most likely it's just going to be Witch Doctor and Elder Titan as the 2 supports, and then Tidehunter going to be holding down a lane by himself. Moscow 5 with this Lich pickup is going to confirm to us that Wind Ranger is going to be going toward the mid lane, and as far as counters for Elder Titan, Ice Armor is going to be fantastic at trying to nullify the effects of that natural order.
Yep, absolutely. It's giving tons of armor. I mean, obviously the Lich needs quite some XP. Back in the days, that was quite a problem in the Lich support situation, but since he has now the new sacrifice, I mean, it's not really new. We are talking about months already, but still, the Lich is going to get his experience, like, no matter what really happens, and 9 armor is granted by the Ice Armor. That is armor the Elder Titan can't touch, because we talk about base armor, the rest will be additional armor from items and the Ice Armor. So if the Lich keeps it up, Witch Doctor's Death Ward is just not as good anymore.
Oh, for sure. In Moscow 5, they pick up the Bat Rider, so they have a little bit of initiation on the field. I'm just concerned that they don't have enough damage right now, because that's something that Buhlo have pretty much coming out of their ears. They have, of course, everything amplified by the natural order. Luna deals mixed physical and magical damage. Witch Doctor and Tidehunter could put out a crap ton of damage as well, and even though Moscow 5 have a lot of control, they have a crap ton of stuns and CC effects, Buhlo just are bursting with damage at the seams, and they just need one more hero. Moscow 5, their last pick has to be a heavy hitter, and if it's not, they're going to run into a severe shortage of damage. Maybe they are going to go for a real hyper carry, as Buhlo seem to think so. It's going to be PA banned out, and maybe Moscow 5 going to go for something along the lines of Adusa. It remains to be seen, of course. Puck is going to be the last ban in this game.
Yep, I'm actually kind of missing the times where we had like 2 cores and everything. That was shortly after 6.81 and even before that. Like 4 Protect 1 stuff, I'm not a huge fan of it, because I still don't consider Windrunner as like a huge hitter. Sure, like she can transition into a lot, and even with the ultimate, and if you have a lockdown target, may it be for example by the Batrider or the Ogre Magi, it's just not enough. They go for a lifestealer, that's quite nice. I mean, they have the Batrider as a combo for Infast Bomb, but the Zeus on the other side, that brings some nice spice into this game. I love it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Moscow 5, before the Lifestealer pickup, are all pretty soft. Like, Ogre Magi is fairly tanky, Wind Ranger, Lich, very prone to lightning, and Batrider as well. Lifestealer, not as much, although if his rage is down, then he could certainly get hit very hard by it. it was a good pick for Buhlo before the Lifestealer. However, Lifestealer is probably the best pick that Moscow 5 could have made right now, quite honestly. I mean, Magic Immunity is going to mean that he doesn't give a damn about the Zeus, and he's going to shrug off an Eclipse like nothing, and you don't have to deal with minus magic resistance when you're completely immune to magic, so Elder Titan is going to be sad about that fact. Lifestealer, as you said, does have ways of getting into the fight off of a Batrider Lasso, and he is quite a heavy hitter, so I think Moscow 5, they've sealed their draft up pretty well, but I don't know. I think I like Buhlo's draft just a little bit more. Maybe it's because I'm biased because Zeus is in the game, but I just think they have a lot more leeway as far as how their draft is going to pan out.
It's just I like the Luna over the Lifestealer. Lifestealer is just a very weak hero at the moment. Like, we can't deny that. Like, so many even tier 1 teams tried to bring him back into the game, but it always failed. Like, on top of that, the fact that they don't really have like effective infest bomb, because what is there? Maybe we're gonna see a Vigos Blink Dagger. That might be one, but then it comes down to the Batrider. And who can they take down? Even if he goes for Bash Abyssal Plight, it will be -1 target. But at some point, the Rage will wear off. And then the Luna, the Zeus. And I don't even want to start with the Elder Titan of obviously applying like minus base resist. Like, they're just going to obliterate that Lifestealer. So I'm really scared of M5's draft here. I have to see how they're going to go through the laning stage. If they have a head start, we might see just a domination of experience and gold playing along their side. But if they don't manage a good mid-game or laning stage for that matter, I just don't see it happening. So Buhlo is still my favorite. They were in the last game, this game again.
I think it's really going to depend on the scale of the fights that Moscow 5 are going to take. Like, in a small scale engagement, Lifestealer and Batrider, they are able to annihilate people so very easily. So in like 2v2, 3v3 situations, this is when the Lifestealer truly shines. When you get into those mass team fight scenarios, when you're going into a Ravage with Death Ward combo, that in itself is dangerous. But then add an Eclipse and add Thunder God's Wrath, and then add all of that amplified by Natural Order, and quite frankly, no carry hero is going to stand a chance there, let alone a Lifestealer. So Moscow 5, what they have to do is try to avoid the large fights and try to take fights on a very small scale. And they are going to start things off the right way. With a level 1 smoke into the enemy jungle, they're going to blow it onto Arzeek. Shackle Shot is going to land. Is there any stun? King R a little bit too far, though. He went to the south, unstable, and Blow Your Brain trying to cut through, and it's not going to be enough. Elder Titan with boots first is going to keep himself safe. That could have been very bad for Buhlo, but instead, they just take, well, like 30 damage.
Yeah, I mean, the Shackle Shot was very bold. It lashed, it was all cool, but unfortunately level 1, it's not too long. Like, they needed anything. Like, the Ignite would have done the trick, the Ice Blast would have done the trick. All they needed was the Lifestealer getting close and just getting that open wounds up. That might have been our first blood. Nothing happened. That's 100 gold down the drain. And, well, maybe you should have put that 100 gold into buying boots on one of the slowers in your team. Just one of them, and it might have done the trick.
I would have liked to see them open up with boots on Ogre Magi. First of all, I just think that's the best way to open up. Second of all, it definitely would have helped. And Unstable, because he was in that pseudo scenario where he thinks he could get an opportunity in that case, he has gone for Frost Blast level 1, which is generally not seen. You want to get Sacrifice level 1 so you can start the EXP swing as soon as possible, especially if you're going to be running a dual lane mid, which it seems like is going to be the course of action for Moscow 5, as without Sacrifice, it's going to be a little bit of a better time for this Zeus. But before we get into any of that, let's take our time to introduce these players. On the Moscow 5 side, we have Vigos. He's going to be playing the top lane Wind Ranger. It's going to be supported a little bit by the Ogre Magi, played by King R, who performed pretty well last game. Tron is going to be playing the mid lane Lifestealer along with Unstable's Lich, and that leaves towards bottom Blow Your Brain's Bat.
Yep, and bottom we also have on the other side, we have Seema the Slayer. This time on the support, Witch Dog Afterlife is going to replace the Fury we had in last game, which I guess was a good decision. So he's going to be on the Luna carrying the whole thing. RC is at the moment on the Elder Titan doing those nice double pulls. Seem to work. In the mid, obviously the Zeus. We have to see how he's going to match up against this dual lane. So far there was a Courier snipe attempt, but the Courier is getting away with half HP. And of course, not to forget, we have Pasho now forced into a Tidehunter role. And I actually was happy with his Legion Commander, at least when it comes to plays and everything. The decisions, okay, maybe not the best, but let's see how he's gonna do on a Tidehunter.
It's definitely a very different hero when you compare the two, like just how you are going to be approaching these engagements. So Pashubashi is gonna have to shift gears in a big way, but hey, he performed so well last game that I think we could assume slightly equal things in the secondary one. Bloyer Brain on the bottom lane is going to take quite a bit of damage. They're going to charge forward with a lot of movement speed on the Elder Titan. Bloyer Brain does have boots opening, though. One more hit from the Elder Titan is all that's needed, although Afterlife with the Moonglaive plus that beam is going to get the kill. But at the same time, Pashibashi dies up towards top. Man, I just looked away from him, and he was at full HP. What the hell happened?
Yep, it's pretty much what we had in game 1. Like, if something happens, it happens at the same time. And now also mid, there's open wounds, but a ton of damage. He doesn't have rage against the Zeus, but the Zeus doesn't have any mana, and I think that's a kill. One more hit is needed, and even the Lich coming for a drive-by shoot with illusions. That pretty much did the trick. So M5, yep, they're leading just because of that mid action. Everything else before was just a normal get the offlaner, and that's it.
That is very slight, of course, as 2-1, and the game could swing either way, especially when you're dealing with a Zeus. Lifestealer has opened up with a magic stick, which is a fantastic item against Zeus, but it's not really a good item for Lifestealer. He can't really spam out his skills in any effective way, so I mean, he's certainly going to get a lot of health from it, but the mana is, for the most part, going to be wasted. That being said, it's still completely worth it for him to pick up that item, and he does have Unstable, wrapping around from behind, maybe looking for another opportunity over in the mid lane, but since no one is on his side of the river, very close to his tower, I don't think Zeus is going to be going down anytime soon. He should be just fine, and, well, I think it's really going to be level 6 for Buhlo when they actually start getting things. For Moscow 5, they need a little bit more time. Vigos can start things pretty much by himself with Wind Ranger, with the help of Ogre Magi. You can start things off from level 0, really, but Batrider Blink is going to be the large trigger for Moscow 5 to get things started.
Absolutely. I'm just trying to figure what happens actually if they ding level 6 and the Elder Titan is there. We have a Ravage, which is a crazy amount of damage. It's magical all, but we have a go in the mid on the Zeus again. Open wounds, pretty much the same story, but this time Seema the Slayer is coming in. We have bounces. It's only level 1. They won't get a kill on this, or maybe with the Lich. He's super slow. I mean, 315 movement speed, it still won't be enough. Well, maybe with the Elder Titan. Okay, never mind that.
You can't leave. You can't go that way and just leave. Arseek is going to snag that kill, and now he's going to be chased down by Tron and Bloyer Brain, although it's just to secure that rune. It was a very close situation for sure, and now King R is going to be diving the Zeus with the Haste rune. Haste Ogre is one of the scariest heroes in the game, and the slow beatdown from King R is almost guaranteeing this kill on Zeus. Now with boots and an Orb of Venom, even if he didn't have the haste, that probably could have been a kill for Ogre Magi. Slightly slower for sure, but it would have been a kill nonetheless, as Zeus has no way of getting out from that. So 2-3 and Moscow 5 still hold a 1-kill lead in this game, but obviously this is going to just be one of those games, and I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, this is what I hate about the Ogre, and that's why I don't approve of so much boost in his base armor. Like, this guy can just dive towers. Like, he doesn't have to be, I don't know, scared of towers, unless there's some follow-up holding him in place somewhere. He can really dive you, and a haste rune and the Orb of Venom, there's nothing you can do unless you have some sort of stun in petto. But yeah, in case of a Zeus, you just don't have that.
Ogre Magi is one of the tankiest heroes in the game. Plus, he does a crap ton of damage, which to me seems like a pretty good combination. And, well, it seems like Moscow 5 agree with me right now, as their Ogre with 2 kills to his name. And still he's doing a good job at buying a lot of room for Vigos up on top. Not like the Wind Ranger really needs it. 10-1 on the Tidehunter versus a 30-for-8 Wind Ranger. She has gone for the phase boots, and with a Ring of Protection, or Ring of Regen rather, in her inventory, most likely is going to be turning that into a Force Staff down the line. So Vigos is going to be, scaling pretty linearly as Wind Rangers usually do. It's a matter of time before he decided to switch lanes. But Bloyer Brain down on bottom is going to take a cask, double cask, in fact, triple cask, and Batrider is going to go down. A little bit too greedy from the Batrider, quite honestly.
Yep, and the problem is also, I mean, Moscow 5, or both teams for that matter, they tend to play everything very close, when it comes to their HP pool, but you can't run from heaven. This is something you, on the draft, you have to, internalize this already. Whenever you take those fights and you get away with just an inch of HP, you will get finished off, and that Zeus is almost level 6. Give him, one more creep wave in the mid without the presence of the Elder Titan, or the next creep wave completely, and we have a level 6 Zeus. But for now, maybe his level 6 is not gonna be there, because he's gonna get dived here.
Well, no one is gonna turn around for a failed lightning bolt. Here comes the Ogre Magi. Fire Blast is gonna secure the kill on Zeus. Nice Echo Stomp and Cask onto 2 or 3. Unstable is gonna get beaten down really hard by the plus 96 from the Elder Titan. Now King R in a little bit of trouble as well. 2 more hits going to kill him off. Tron still with a decent amount of HP is going to try to kill off this Elder Titan. Echo Stomp, it's going to come out just in time, and Elder Titan lives. And now Tron, taking tower aggro, is going to try to turn around and secure the kill. He does. 1 hit and then he runs away. Elder Titan way too greedy. Can he run from heaven though? That's the big question.
Zeus.
No one needs just a little bit more experience. And Tron, I think, is dead because Zeus just needs a level 6. Throw it, boom, there goes the dynamite, and Lifestealer does go down.
Oh, perfect. Like, and you saw how everybody was like, come on, guys, go away. I need the experience. Go away. the Witch Dog running. But look at the mid. The Lish even getting the catapult, and with the last lightning, that's pretty much it. So the Zeus with a double kill here. And we also have some action top. The Windrunner actually getting the kill on the Tidehunter, but Elder Titan, oh, he has actually quite some damage. No, it's not enough. 90 damage. You are not going for scary stuff here, and they're gonna dive him. But this time, Ogre, you're starting with quite some low HP, so you don't want to commit to this.
Oh, and no one is circling around, and Elder Titan still in the area is going to take quite a bit of damage, but drop Vigos down to lethal range from Lightning Bolt. However, no one's first going to run to King R. 2 lightning strikes, and that's going to be death of the Ogre. Now Vigos, he's going to get stomped, and 1 more right click is all no one needs. Or Lightning Bolt. No, he's got it. Don't worry. Lightning Bolt through the shadows is possible now. It's a double kill for no one. 4-3-3, and Zeus, not the best start until he gets those kills. Suddenly, he's doing very well for himself.
But he could have finished the one with just a right click, but then he was like a bit forth and back. I don't know. His mouse playing tricks on him. Yeah, a kill is a kill, but I was really shocked by the fact that he was like sort of interrupting that attack animation already, and I was like, wow, what? Why? Either way, they obliterate this farming lane, and that's definitely good news, especially since the Titan just dinked level 6, which means now we have the combination we just talked about. So you can't run from heaven. We have that ultimate up and running again. We have the Ravage, and we only need the Elder Titan. Maybe even putting the Luna in the mix, because that's even more magical damage. So all these 3 ultimates perfectly aligned with the presence of Elder Titan. It's gonna blow M5 apart.
And right now, Buhlo, they're pretty much holding down the fort with everyone minus Afterlife. Him and Seema have been... Actually, the Witch Doctor rotated mid once, but the Luna has not left bottom lane. Has the Helm of the Dominator. Stacks... there's a couple right now, only 2, but it is going to be blocked very quickly by Moscow 5. Luna is still getting complete free farm, and Lifestealer would be getting complete free farm in an ordinary situation, but even though he's doing okay in the last hit department, he certainly cannot compare to the Luna, who's sitting on top of the net worth chart, getting the couple kills, and the Bat Rider certainly helping that cause as well. So even though Buhlo, I mean, they have a kill advantage, and that's only with 4 heroes, this is not looking good for Moscow 5. They have to change something up, and that should happen, as I said, once the Blink Dagger comes up on Bat Rider, or they have to rotate Vigos out. If they don't do either of those things, then they're slowly going to fall further and further behind.
The Zeus in the mid, he's gonna face the Smoking. Smoking still half the ration left here, but all they need is getting close to him. Just to slow on him, oh, and he's going for the legs. Bad news.
Not a good idea. I mean, usually Rage is pretty good against Zeus, and Ogre Magi is going to slam the club into Zeus's face, ending a dominating spree. That could have been very easily given to Tron, but sometimes as Ogre, you just gotta take kills.
Yeah, kill secured, like, that's all you need. I don't know why he was going, I don't know. He was all the time around his tier 1 tower, and I thought he was like well aware of the fact that like so many people were missing from the map, but then he go for it. But top, oh, the Ogre getting the first multicast. What he needs is a multicast on that Fire Blast. He's gonna use it, and he's gonna get it.
And that's going to be the end of the Tidehunter Death Ward being channeled. King R gonna get like triple stunned by the cask. Witch Doctor getting almost a full channel of that ultimate. Plus they had the Zeus ultimate if they really needed it, which they didn't. Making it a 1-for-1 trade, not a great trade for Buhlo,
but it was
didn't look
fair.
like they were going to get anything either way. King R, as I said last game, is so incredibly skilled as that hero. Tron him over towards mid. Oh, Thunder God's Wrath being held. I think he's trying to bait out the Rage, although I don't think it's even lethal, so it's not relevant.
No, but the Lord 3 top was just fair. I mean, after a double multicast on the Ogre against like that poor Tidehunter, like getting that triple stun by Casket, which is just as lottery pretty much. I mean, in this case, it was good situation because just 2 creeps and the hero was left over, but it was just fair. RNG definitely on both sides here.
Especially King R. I mean, double multicast, even though multicast Ignite isn't too often relevant, especially in those types of situations, it's, you know, adding insult to injury. It's like, yeah, I'm going to waste all my luck on these random Ignites early on because that's, of course, how the game sees it. No one's skill build on Zeus. He's actually gone for maxed out Arc Lightning, which increases damage, sure, but generally the build is maxing out Static Field, as that typically does do more damage in the grand scheme of things.
Yep, but he's not really happy with just the percentage. He wants to get the real damage in. I don't know for what reason, but you're right. Like, usually it's the static field or something like of a compromise that we have more points in it and maybe a level 2 arc lightning because the level 1 is just 85 damage. But, well, for now, he's just going for it. I don't know why. I mean, he's getting quite some level anyway.
Oh, Tron and no one. They're going to once again get into a 1v1 situation, but this time Pashubashi is here, but Boilerbrain's here as well. Doesn't have that much mana. Ravage is going to be committed. They cannot kill this Lifestealer though, and now no one's completely surrounded. Shackle not going to land. Thunder God's Wrath onto 3 just for value. Now the cast comes in with King R as well. They're going to get Chainsaw on Boilerbrain and King R, but they don't have any follow-up to this one. Seema's going to get beaten down by the Ogre, now trying to heal his way up to the high ground. The denial not going to happen. Pashubashi is still pretty healthy, but Buhlo, they need more heroes right now. Shackle shot, very long range, going to hold up the Tide Hunter. Unstable is going to circle in, and that's going to be all 5 heroes from Moscow 5 coming to the fight, whereas Buhlo completely caught with their pants down. Ravage was entirely wasted, and maybe if Afterlife was there with an Eclipse, they could have had something happen, but instead they get a tower, which is, I suppose, very nice, but certainly I'd rather have 3 kills.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a 3-for-0 trade with the Luna even missing the last hit because the Cliff was pretty nicely used on low HP where he just didn't get the timing right. So Afterlife, not with the best plays here. Usually as a professional player, you should have the timing of a Cliff internalized. So, I don't know, in 90% of the tier 1 teams, you get that last hit on the tower. Even after a Cliff, it doesn't confuse you. Here, it wasn't successful, and that makes it, like, at least gold-wise, not really worth it. The tower lasted on Luna, and a 3-0 trade, okay. It might have been okay-ish now that it was just a normal tower kill. Definitely a way, way better trade for Moscow 5.
Moscow 5 are desperately needing those trades. This Blink Dagger on Batrider is very soon to come up. He just needs to clear one more creep camp, and then you'll have that one. And hey, they'll get the Elder Titan on top lane as well. Shackle Shot's going to land, and Tron's going to lay into him. Wind Ranger gets the kill there. And Wind Ranger, by the way, Vigos, has gone for a very peculiar item build. I mean, he is absolutely loaded. Like, he's near the top of the net worth chart. He's gone for Phase Boots, Hood, and Hand of Midas in that order. And all these items are, I mean, first of all, Hood is actually pretty good in this game for any hero. It's kind of weird to see on Wind Ranger, but I guess value is value. Oh, bottom lane, Afterlife is going to get jumped for the first time. Just Ogre and Lich. I assume there was a multicast there, but anyway, yeah, Wind Ranger is going to be rather defensive in this game.
Yep, like Vigor's at the moment, like the farming monster, and well, the Luna, that's the downside of the Luna. Luna is not coming along with a lot of HP pool. If you go for this build, like just the Helm of Dominator, okay, granted, it gives you some armor. Like he had his PTs on agility, so not even getting the full amount of HP he could have, and well, then the magical damage will just tear you apart, and that's what they did. At least they get a Tower Deny top that is a bit less gold for Moscow 5. Looking at the crafts here, 50 minutes in. That fight in the mid, the Luna missing the last hit, etc., etc. Moscow 5 is, the advantage is taking shape.
And that's going to be pretty much the name of the game until Buhlo decided to change things up just a little bit.
Top.
Blink. Oh, top
Beautiful
lane,
Shackle here.
Rip Seema. Unless 15 HP. Unless Voodoo Restoration is broken. And it is, it turns out. Man, I would have thought for sure Vigos would have had enough for that, but he decided not to fully commit with the Wind Run. And he could have just stuck around for a power shot as well. He just thought that he had that kill, and well, obviously so did I.
Nope, that was actually a really lucky play by the Witch Dog, and at least they slowed down, like, at least one more kill on Moscow 5. Still, we have the first Infest Bomb coming in. It is with the Batrider, as I predicted. I mean, that's the only logical consequence, but they're heading towards mid. It's a long way there, and they might find someone else even on the way, the Luna.
That's the best case scenario. There's the burst out and the lasso, and Afterlife is just going to get torn into. Eclipse is not going to save you there, and really she wishes she had something else besides Yasha, Helm of the Dominator in that case. Batrider, with the help of the Lifestealer, are going to get another one on the board. This is an Armlet, Lifestealer, and a blinking Batrider. 15 minutes in, 16 minutes in. This is pretty much exactly where you want to be with this type of combination.
And she just came back from the fountain. It's not like, oh yeah, okay, just a random Luna pickoff. No, she just died by the Ogre Lich combination. Now she died by Batrider and Lifestealer combination. It's really bad news for her. At the moment, she's not farming anywhere. Like, even that range creep, I don't know, it's not stacking at the moment. And she could have had, like, I guess the camps in the mid as a better and safe alternative if you don't have the vision of what's going on the map.
Yeah, and Luna, you could have all the CS in the world, but if you die one too many times, then you're not going to be too relevant. I think by now, is really where you want your Luna to be relevant, as a level 2 Eclipse is going to be probably the most powerful tool in the game, especially when you're working with it amplified by natural order. So Afterlife, I mean, getting farm on a Luna is certainly very nice, but you kind of want her to be participating in a little bit more action. Speaking of action, Unstable bottom lane is going to get annihilated by the Zeus. Easy bolt, Chain Lightning, Wrath combo. Now going to try to fight up against King R. Has another bolt and a couple more Chain Lightnings. King R cannot afford to fight this Zeus, although I think he might be able to escape.
Stuff.
Yeah, Force Staff from Zeus used to get into the Lich, so he unfortunately cannot give chase, but it's still a solo pick-off for the Zeus.
It's the right decision not to chase it. I mean, I'm pretty sure he could have gotten that Ochre kill, but he would have found himself like directly in front of a tier 2 tower where 2 people actually answered to that aggression, and these 2 people became one. And we're not talking about like some sort of romantic relationship. No, it's the Batrider and they're everything else but love. Look at it. They find the poor Seema Witch Doctor here, and that's an easy pick-off, and out they are. This drive-by shooting gangster style is working off at the moment, and all they need is maybe some slow on the Zeus. They still had open wounds if they wanted to, but now it's time to just escape.
And they were completely surrounded, yet still looking for a fight, just because Tron with the armlet and the levels that he has is such a deadly hero. Batrider can't really do as much as the Lifestealer, especially without Firefly, but still in a situation you can't leave your wingman, and Tron is going to be more than enough to deal with that. At the same time, Vigos up towards top is kind of quietly pushing up the top lane. However, he's going to get into a fight. Shackled the Luna onto her own wolf is going to mean that Vigos has a clean escape out of there. Afterlife, I mean, it's pretty easy to do this. Just have a wolf on the move command on your hero, but of course that is going to be the price you pay.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, he's playing exactly the same style I do. I always have like a wolf on follow when I play a Luna, but the problem is if you play against the Windrunner, you should reconsider that, because at least you have to like, yeah, micro it, that it's like somewhere near you. The aura is actually quite huge, but still, like, I mean, you can't do that because you get shackled all the time if it's directly behind you.
Yeah, and now, I mean, the Luna probably didn't have that cross her mind. I'm sure she will be microing that eventually if she's going to be running into the Wind Ranger, but for right now, you might as well just have it on a move command. That's just the easy way of doing it. So Buhlo, they are going to smoke up as 4. They have Eclipse, they have Ravage, they have Thunder God's Wrath. This should be, on paper, a fight that they can easily win, pretty much no matter who they run into. And it looks like the person they want to run into is Vigos up on top, who is just quietly farming away, wants to get his Sheep Stick, but even though the Wind Ranger has a hood, I don't know if that's going to be enough, because here comes pretty much everybody. Force staffing, the Witch Doctor in, Cass is going to fly, but a lasso on Seema is going to delay things. They're going to annihilate the Batrider, and Vigos actually does slip away. So Batrider being quite the hero, but a Death Ward being channeled from over the trees, and now Unstable is in quite a bit of trouble. He will go down to a beam. Man, what a play from Seema the Slayer. You never expect that, man.
That was beautiful. That was golden Death Ward, like just as we know it. Over the hills, I was about to say, no, but over the trees, and the Lich just too slow to get the hell away. He didn't even have the first point ice armor in it that might have made the difference. And now this is an easy tier 1 for them. I don't think Moscow 5 is gonna go for anything that might stop it. Nope, that's pretty much guaranteed. And it's also pretty interesting, by the way, like what I just noticed, like the Lifestealer who's running away now in the bottom lane, he's still below the Luna. So Luna's farm is quite decent, but top or bottom, where is the action actually happening?
It's going to be bottom, where no one is going to be got upon by Tron. However, he doesn't have the sticking power to kill off that Zeus. Now he has to make a retreat. Seema's going to give chase, but I don't think he's quite fast enough. Tron should be just fine with the phase boots. The answer to your question, the action's actually happening nowhere, so there's that to consider.
But no, you're wrong. Look at this. Like, again, Batrider and Lifestealer, they're grouping up. They still think there might be someone around here behind the tower. The tower is, I guess, the consolidation price. If they don't fight anyone, they just get out and get the tower. And yeah, as I say it, it's happening.
Killing towers doesn't count as action. I'm still right. That's my call. Either way, it's almost a Force Staff completed on the Batrider. He's very close to that item. Tron has 2,500 gold. I don't really know what you get in this situation. Usually something like Assault Cuirass is pretty good, but yeah, maybe just for the armor for the team. I think Assault Cuirass should be the item here for Tron. What do you think?
Yeah, it's actually a good question in what direction he wants to go for. Sangha Yasha, race car build, something like that, since he already has the drums, and face boots maybe not necessary. He definitely needs some HP pull, that's for sure. But I don't know, the minus armor or armor for him, armor for his team, and minus armor against your enemy might be the nice choice if you have the gold at your disposal. And at the moment, it's looking good. 3k, why not? But it's the same question is, by the way, for the Luna. What is the Luna going for? He's sitting, or she's sitting on... Never mind that. The question was just answered. She's buying the BKB.
Yeah, I think she's going to buy a BKB here. It's usually pretty... It's a fairly brainless item to go for. Like, if you're Luna, therefore you get BKB. And I guess for Lifestealer, he's going to get a Basher. Oh no, it's going to be Arzeek. He's going to get dragged very slowly back to the Lifestealer, but now there's open wounds, and Echo Stomp will not save you here, Elder Titan. Tron is going to lay into him, and Batrider once again takes that kill. They can afford to do this onto pretty much anyone right now. Moscow 5 have pretty much the deadliest gankers on the map, and well, this is something that I've missed. I mean, Lifestealer combinations are truly, truly deadly if you could find your openings, and so far Lifestealer hasn't really been punished sufficiently. Buhlo, though, they do have most of their ultimates up. They don't have Ravage for another 15. They use Thunder God's Wrath for something.
Luna top.
Yep.
Look at this. I mean, she's really a bit out of position now, faking that Eclipse, and he was already ready to go back. The problem is that, the supports are coming from the side. All we need is a Fire Blast. With a ding, 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 it might have been something, but no. They just abort the mission because there was the Witch Dog in the background.
Well, Zeus is going to be joining the fight as well. They're going to try to get a little bit of map vision to potentially smoke up, it seems. But unfortunately, they're right on top of a Dire Observer if they do so. It looks like they will disengage pretty cleanly, and they're still looking for a couple of wards here and there. And Zeus will find one, actually. Lightning Bolts, I guess it does a crap ton of damage, and it's also kind of unsung as a scouting tool. But it's going to be Arzeek once again in the mid lane. 3x multicast. King R is so damn skilled at this hero. This guy has really been practicing his Ogre Magi, because he's getting multicasts pretty consistently.
Assuming that it actually requires practice to be lucky as hell.
Hey, it does.
Yeah, sure. Either way, like, what I don't like at the moment is that Buhlo is giving too much away by people getting caught out. I mean, the Luna was just on the edge of getting picked off there. Like, a centimeter north, and we might have seen the Orca getting that nice Fire Blast and a Shackle follow-up, etc. There was also Lish for slow purposes, and the Eclipse alone against 3 targets plus 2 illusions would have knocked Undertrick, and also Afterlife now getting caught out. It's the same story. Again, they're alone. Even wasting a 10-second BKB for it, he still lives, but nope, it's not enough. The Batrider is going to have the last word on this one.
Blocking Firefly damage is nice, I suppose, but Lifestealer at this point is going to be doing most of the damage, especially, well, that's actually surprising. He didn't even have his Basher there, so next time it'll go down even faster for the Luna, and well, Moscow 5, they're still playing this with Vigos camping top lane. Wind Ranger has not left there. They're going to open up with a Ravage onto Bloody Brain mid. It's a lot of commitment for a Batrider. They have to get this kill, and they will do so. And the Death Ward is going to be channeled, but canceled by the Chain Frost. But here comes Tron. Wants to go for Pashu Bashu. He does not have his Basher still, but he has King R. And multicasts, I would say, are a little bit better than a Basher in this scenario. They're going to clean up 2 for 1, even pulling out the Ravage, although that was because Buhlo wanted to use the Ravage. They still have a Sheepstick on Wind Ranger, and they have Roshan to go for. Range Creep is going to spot everything out first, but can Buhlo actually do anything? If they had all their ultimates, they can, but unfortunately, they only have Eclipse, and that's not going to cut it.
Yep, they're going for Roshan, and I think they have to, because that trade was kind of weird. I mean, they came out of this with a 2-1 trade, but they thought that Buhlo is actually committing more, and they bought back on the Batrider, making it a sort of equal trade, 2 for 1 with a buyback on top of it. Oh, that ultimate, it's not gonna go for anything. The Eclipse, well, that's decent damage on Vigors, but it's not enough. But in the meantime, top, we have the Batrider, all of them being very much stunned up. They still try to follow everything. I think the Lish one is going down. Well, they stopped the pursuit in the south, but there is still the Lifestealer in the Rosh Pit, and the best stun possible. The Bash is coming out, and now Armlet Toggle. Buhlo has to go back or they die. The ET didn't get that memo at the moment. Well, they turn around, get the Ogre, but beautiful Shackle. This is pretty much what they need, but Tron still has to get the hell out of here somehow.
The additional damage from the Elder Titan there, plus landing an Earth Splitter to start things off, was pretty much the fight that Buhlo, that's all they could have asked for. They do not end up really crashing the Roshan Pit. They take an okay fight. I mean, it's 1 for 3, or I guess 1 for 2 with the Aegis. They end up losing their Luna, but they don't actually mess with the Roshan attempt at all. So Buhlo, it was okay for them, considering they didn't have all their ultimates, but they really can't afford to fight without those ultimates. If they had a Ravage there, if they had a Death Ward to be channeled, or a Thunder God's Wrath, anything else, it could have been so different for them, and really they have to show this Lifestealer a lot of respect.
It's the Ravage, to be honest. Like, this game, we haven't seen a single good Ravage. Like, the best Ravage we saw was a minute ago, and it was just led to a killing spree Batrider, and that's it. And to be honest, before the next Ravage, we're gonna see probably that Titaner, because he's going forward. There's the Lasso, and the rest will pretty much history. Like, look at the right clicks. It's not even funny. And Buhlo they continue to have heroes on the map alone, even though they know they have a Batrider coming on cooldown and everything. And while I'm speaking, that we actually miss a kill top.
Oh man, that's a level 17 Wind Ranger getting solo kills on a Zeus. Sheep into Wind Run, into Focus Fire, and well, Zeus is packing a 4-staff, but that's certainly not enough to get himself out. He has short legs and he can't run too quickly. That's 2 kills for Moscow 5, and I mean, they're just pretty much feeding off of Buhlo. Outside of these ultimates, outside of fringe circumstances for Buhlo, they just seems like don't have enough heroes on the map. It feels like Moscow 5 they're playing a 5v4 right now, and Buhlo just can't mobilize enough of their troops at the right place, and that's mostly because of this Batrider. Like, the initiation potential is huge, but also just the pick-off potential is so large when you're working with a Lifestealer bomb. And still, Moscow 5, this Wind Ranger has not left the top lane, but it hasn't even mattered for them. Like, ordinarily, this can straight up lose you the game if you have someone who just doesn't leave, but whoever goes into this lane against Vigos is in a lot of trouble, especially the Zeus, as we already saw.
Yep. And what I don't understand, I mean, I said it multiple times in the draft and even short before the game started, that I think Buhlo has the clusterfuck fight advantage. That is just a fact in my opinion. We have a Ravage, a lot of AoE damage, the ET on top of it, we have the Zeus, we have the Lunar Eclipse, so much, but we're 27 minutes into the game, 28 even, and they are not going for it. At the moment, Moscow 5 is just feeding bit by bit on single heroes. I just don't understand. At the moment, they drafted for a certain strategy, but it's not working out. Well, the Lifestealer maybe is something that would be a great achievement. Oh, they're actually going in with the Ravage committed on hit. He's losing tons of HP. Armlet Toggle still there, and he's trying to TP out. Is it enough? No. They commit so much. This is a Ravage, the Death Ward out, and it's not enough to kill Tron off. Too strong. Too strong.
That's pretty much what I said in the draft. I mean, Moscow 5, they have to take small-scale engagements, and they have been avoiding all these ultimates. You said that the Tidehunter hasn't had any good Ravages, which I completely agree with, but honestly, he hasn't had any good opportunities for good Ravage. Like, the best case scenario was like 2 heroes at any given point in this game. And that just isn't quite good enough, as he wasn't in the right place at the right time. So, Moscow 5, I think 2 things are going on right now. Buhlo, they're trying to go for these big plays, and right at this point, they're just so far behind, they are like, screw it, we're going to take what we can get, which is, I can understand that. But Moscow 5, they're also splitting up perfectly, and at the same time, bottom lane, like, they're doing this consistently. They're making sure that Buhlo are never going to be able to fight more than 2 Moscow 5 heroes at the same time. That's why Vigos is staying on the top lane. That's why the Batrider and Lifestealer are staying down towards bottom, and well, Vigos up towards the top is going to be set up upon, Maledicted up, and now chain stunned by a cast. Seema's going to get hexed, but Vigos is going to go down for sure, landing a shackle just for good measure, but Maledict is lethal. Seema Slayer is going to get that kill, but it's just a 1-for-1, and these small-scale engagements are perfectly fine for Moscow 5 since they're slowly choking Buhlo out of this map as far as their farm game, with Vigos on top and Tron not too far behind.
Yep, at least they got something now in return. This was also a mega kill in quite some time. Still, like the Tidehunter, there is no learning effect kicking in. Just like in the mid, Elder Titan, this is probably the 7th kill or so. He's going to die this way, but the Death Ward, pretty beautiful, but without any consequence. There's no one going down, there was no Maledict, no nothing. And that's pretty much the end of the story of this fight. Moscow 5 just too tanky at this point. Like, the experience advantage is really kicking in. A team that was 14k, like, yeah, ahead, now only lost Vigos, but you see the difference. Like, alone the levels make the difference. With all these heroes surviving with 50 or 100 HP, that's the XP you gain by just having a level more.
And it's also going to make the enemy team feel pretty shitty about themselves. Like, man, we're so close to these. Maybe if we just used the Ravage there, we could have gotten it, and who knows. I mean, for Buhlo, they still have the Wombo combo, so it's, even though they may be however much they are behind, and they could be like at a 20k deficit or something like that, and still if they have a Ravage Death Ward combo with an Eclipse on top of that, all being amplified by natural order, the possibility for comeback is always going to be there for Buhlo. But Moscow 5, I mean, they are just firing off on all cylinders right now. They're going to go for a tower, as they haven't taken down too many towers in this game. It will be a very quick destruction, although Bashu has a Ravage available. Not into the Rage Life, so they're not a good idea. No one's going to teleport in, and now Tron's going to dive forward. Wants to go for RZ, can't quite find him in the trees, but it's still going to be a clean tower destruction, as, hey, Vigos has actually left the lane. Look at that. Blurbrain now housing a Lifestealer, looking for a blink in. It's going to be smoke dispelled immediately. Blurbrain's going to walk just right into everyone, and now shackle onto RZ. He's going to very quickly to focus down. Lots of AoE teamfight ultimates being used by Buhlo, but none actually landing. King R is going to eat most of the Eclipse, and he will be not going going down. Forstaff is going to keep him alive. Have Moscow 5 really escaped with everyone right now? Vigos is going to find Afterlife, and in a duel, this Wind Ranger can stand a pretty decent shot if she lands a Latchel. What was that shackle? What? That made no sense, but now here comes Tron with the Air Splitter already on the floor. He will very easily dodge that. Now lay into the Luna, going to bring him down. Multicasting, the Elder Titan will bring him down, and GG is called by Buhlo. They used all their teamfight ultimates, but they didn't actually... no, they're gonna stay in. Okay, never mind.
Fake.
No.
Fake.
What?
Oh well.
What?
I don't know. Buhlo really tried. I like the draft, but the problem is if you draft for a certain strategy, then you should play the strategy. And in 20 minutes, we just had no learning effect. They went alone on their lane. Batrider came in. I don't even want to know how many Batrider Lifestealer combinations they had this game, but it was probably more than 10 kills. And I mean, at least after 5, you should have said, like, as Buhlo, guys, we can't go alone. Let's group up. Let's try to get our strategy through. Didn't work, and that's pretty much the end. That's why you lose a game.
And yeah, if they just grouped up as 5 and moved to every objective, every single lane as a 5-man unit, assuming they had their ultimates up, they probably could have gotten a lot more done with it. But instead, Buhlo maybe calling a poor GG there. I don't quite know. Regardless, they are going to drop this series 0-2 versus Moscow 5. So Moscow 5, they have a chance at going in. I don't think they have a chance of going into #1 spot. No, they don't. So, I mean, they're going to be going forward anyway, as everyone is. So, not really going to matter too much for Moscow 5. It's going to matter the most for Buhlo, as they are going to be fighting for that #1 spot in the group, which is going to happen at a later date, guys. And that's going to be it for us here on HeflaTV Hitbox 1. The Battle Central Europe will continue tomorrow at, I think, 14 CET. A little bit of a schedule change there. And, well, be sure to tune in for those games. I'm Mike Loris. I've been joined by HeflaMoke. You can follow us a little bit more. Twitter.com, Facebook.com/HeflaTV. The VODs will be up on YouTube.com/HeflaMoke very soon. And that's going to be it for us. Any final words?
Bye.
Yep. Later, guys. GG.